Hi, my name is Michael Palmer. My presentation is about two-lift concrete pavement. So two-lift concrete pavement, also known as 2LCP, which is how I'm going to refer to it in the rest of this presentation, is a technique for building roadways. It consists of placing two wet-on-wet layers of concrete directly on top of each other. 2LCP was first used in Ohio in 1891 to construct the country's oldest concrete roadway. It was used from then up until the 1970s when they switched from 2LCP over to making homogeneous slabs. These homogeneous slabs means that your high quality aggregate that's on the very top surface of the roadway has to be present through the entire slab. So you're using very large amounts of it. Well, currently those high quality aggregates are diminishing in supply, so 2LCP is experiencing a resurgence due to its minimal use of these high-quality aggregates. As I just stated, there's a top lift and a bottom lift. The bottom lift is anywhere from 80 to 90% of the total slab, and oftentimes they put load transferring dowels in the bottom lift. After that is laid down, the top lift goes right on top of it. The top lift is what's going to contain your high-quality aggregates, such as rhyolite, for a good driving surface. The construction process for 2LCP leaves you with two options. The first option is you get a dedicated 2LCP paver. You literally put two mixes into one paver, and it lays down one lift and does the other one right on top of it, right behind it. These machines are expensive and pretty rare. So what normally happens for 2LCP construction these days is you just have two separate pavers. One goes through laying down the first layer, and the other one comes right behind it. You've probably figured out by now that with two different lifts, there's also two different mixes. So you have to be careful with your two different mixes coming from the batch plant that you don't put the wrong mix in the wrong machine. One way they found to get around this is to use a different model or type of truck to haul the mix, or you can just use color coding. Cost-wise, you can actually save some money with 2LCP if done properly. Because 90 to 80% of the slab is lower quality aggregate, you can use locally sourced stuff, recycled stuff, or lower quality, in other words, cheap. And then your expensive stuff only makes up a small part. So while you save a bunch of money on your aggregate costs, you lose it in your equipment costs. You either have one fancy, expensive paver or two pavers. Either way, it's a lot of extra money. Also, you have to have double the amount of haul trucks. This makes 2LCP only financially feasible on larger projects. Smaller projects, you're going to lose your money in equipment costs. 2LCP versus a homogeneous slab. 2LCP is more sustainable. It's easier to repair, and it allows for the use of recycled materials. Again, you lose money because you have to have a custom machine or two pavers. A homogeneous slab, just one paver, but you have high quality aggregate all throughout the slab, so you're going to be paying more for that. 2LCP does have some good environmental benefits over traditional concrete roadways. I guess not traditional, since this is the first one, current concrete roadways. The first lift, again, can be made from recycled materials. So you're not spending a bunch of fuel or mining new stuff to haul in material from across the country. You can use old recycled stuff, cheap stuff, local stuff, whatever. Whatever you can get your hands on, you can pretty much use it. And the fact that only 10 to 20% is in the top lift means that they can experiment with new mixes. So, for example, they have a photoelectric concrete that will react to sunlight and destroy VOCs. It is definitely not cost effective to make the entire roadway like that, but if you're just doing the top 10 to 20%, then you can experiment around and try to find some new techniques. Also, because the first initial lift uses such low quality concrete, you can substitute a lot more fly ash in there for the cement. So the cement industry uses up to 8% worldwide for CO2 emissions, and the concrete industry in general is responsible for 39%. So any way that we can help out to reduce the amount of CO2 output is going to benefit the planet. In summary, 2LCP is an old technique that could potentially solve a modern problem. That problem is the declining supplies and high cost of high-quality aggregates. The cost savings through the use of cheaper aggregates are only seen when 2LCP is used on a larger project. Not only can 2LCP save money, but is also more sustainable and has some very good environmental benefits as well. Got a test your knowledge problem for you. What is a typical ratio of top lift to bottom lift? And that would be B, 10 to 90%. All right, cool. I hope you guys learned something about 2-lift concrete pavement. Have a good rest of your day.